account for it, and to say for sure this amount has been used in this manner. That one I take your advice. So yes, so Senator Anti number one. It is.
Governor, you're out of order.
Sorry. you know when anyway. Let me go to the questions. The education policy, generally, if you look at the fourth schedule of the Constitution, general education policy is domiciled with the ministry, with the national government, and counties implemented. For informal, what is that? What we have in terms of legislative intervention for the city, or rather our framework, one, we have Child Care Facilities Act that we've actually done in Nairobi to regulate that space. We have developed regulations then to operationalize that law, and we can be able to submit that. Actually, public participation around that is going on. We are trying to look at which framework we can have, because we've had meetings, formal meetings with these update schools and with the ministry. And we're saying that, look, there needs to be, and I agree, Senator Muma, there needs to be a specific policy around this update. Update means alternative provision of basic education and training. You know, there are results, they have come up as a result of government not performing or not delivering to the people and not providing. If you go to the ministry says they don't recognize them. They don't recognize them. You cannot do an exam in that update school. And so I agree on the need for a specific policy around the informal update schools, but the correlation of the number of schools in the informal settlements may not necessarily reflect how many of the children in informal settlements are in our schools. Because you find in every informal settlement in Nairobi, neighbors are semi-affluent or affluent area. So for instance, if you go to Muthaiga Primary School, there's no child from Muthaiga. They are from Madari. You know, if you go to in Runda, Gidogoro, what school is in Runda? Cheleta. It's not a child from Runda per se in that school, but it's a child from Gidogoro in that school. So the number doesn't necessarily directly reflect on who is in the schools. It's just where the schools were built. But the schools are very close. Every estate in this city that is affluent or semi-affluent has an informal settlement next to it. And so the children of the workers of the houses in Karen or in Runda or in whatnot are the ones going to those schools. Now, the problem is land tenure in the informal settlements in terms of being able to find a space to build. So where we have space to increase the capacity or to build more schools, you'll find, for instance, Westlands Primary. The children in Westlands Primary may not be the children from the houses in Westlands. They're from Kangemi, they're from Deep Sea, informal settlement next to Westlands Primary. If you go to my former school, Aga Khan Primary, now the children at Aga Khan Primary are from Deep Sea in High Ridge. They're not the Asians that we went to school with in the same school. So that is the disconnect, or rather the dichotomy that we have in the city. We really must build more classrooms. If there's any program that I've seen the president doing that of course I support most of his programs, but one that I feel speaks to the hearts of parents, it is building classrooms in Nairobi. Every MP got around 58 million shillings through CDF to do 33 classrooms in the city. When that 1 billion was introduced and they were doing 1 billion per year, the National Assembly, other countries said, why is it only for Nairobi? The president himself intervened and said, no, this city has that need for the schools. And it's been done year on year, and we're also doing our bit as a county government. So I'm really open to engage, because we've had public participation sessions with the people in the informal settlements. I go there sometimes, and just listen. And my team does it. In fact, some we do there, some we bring them to Charter Hall when we want a more structured meeting with organizations. We don't do it in the informal settlement, we bring them. Because if you go there, then the discussion moves from what you've got to discuss on education and becomes Omaji, and there are many other, pressing needs at the same time. But I would want us to, and I would request this House, because the Senate sits at a place of such great authority and responsibility, that if the Senate, on its own motion, together with educationists, to bring people from different different sectors, to come and help us create either policy intervention around what do we do with informal settlements. Because I've said the prerogative we have as senators, and I still consider myself a senator because I've been in the Senate longer than I've been a governor, is equalization of opportunities. If you equalize opportunities, this country will be good.